Good morning, lovelies. You know, when you get older, you recount memories and stories that you want others to know or events that took place. Even when you're young, you recount things. It's just a beautiful thing when you can remember. Um, I'd like to recount a story that took place at work. Um, During the time I worked for a certain boss, I'm calling no name, is three boss that I have had that was never too nice to me. And I've had, for anyone who know me, I used to move around to clean up backlog, backlog after backlog after backlog. Some bosses were temporary bosses, some were permanent bosses, some old retired, some were sick and had to leave, you name it. So I had a lot of bosses. If I had about 60 bosses, I had one. Okay? Even if I only had them for 2 months or 3 months, or sometimes a few years, that's how many bosses I had. And I am proud to say that plenty bosses treat me fairly, respectably, like how they supposed to. And one or two, or all of them, encouraged me, okay? But I had three boss out of all of them who was not nice to me, okay? And they put up a good front in their pretense, okay? Now listen to this. I'd just get a new car, right? And certain people were having issues, and it's hard to see a man cry. And so the person needed my help, but didn't know how to ask for it. And they know they were encroaching. You see the word I use? Encroaching on my personal space. Okay? But being the person I am, being a person who actually learned under Sir Lyndon Pinland, the late Honorable Sir Lyndon Pinland, I learned that in life, sometimes you have to give back. That is one of our solemn duties as a good citizen, if you could, you know. And it comes a time, even if you could, you need to not, because you need now time for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you give so much of yourself that you need to put a brakes and find time for now yourself. Don't care who get mad. Okay? You can't spend your entire life just only giving back. Okay? You have to stop sometime and say, all my life I've given back. It's time for me now, because if I don't make time for me, who is going to do it? No matter how much you give back, the question is, who's going to do it? And I guarantee you, very seldom you can even find one person who's going to do it. So you have to make time for yourself. Well, to this story I'm talking about, so at that time, the person needed someone to pick up their children from school. So since I was going to the same school, I said, I'll do it. Because I see the dilemma. Mind you, they had, you know, family who could have do it. They said, "But what happened to the other parent? The other parent was playing foolish. That's why they were in the dilemma. Don't want to pick up their own things. Don't want to pick up their own things." I cold like that, and I telling the truth. And listen here, I did it once, did it the next day. They needed me the next day. It became a habit for years. But this one day, their car, was what they don't pay for, they don't even pay gas for, what they never paid for, um, was in the shop, but they wouldn't be paying for either. And so I had just get this new car. And the person knew that I just get this new car. In actual fact, I only had this car driving the car to work for about 1 week. So I'm not a mean person in no sense of the word, but I'm not no fool person either in no sense of the word. So the person said, you know my car in the shop. Let me borrow your car so I could go and pick up the children. I am like, Scourge. Okay, it will save me. That's what I was thinking, because the children all go to the same school. So they jump in my car. I give them my car key, a brand new car. Only had it for a week. And they went to the school on time to pick up the children. And listen to me carefully. I don't stutter. And any story I come on this internet to tell is the entire truth. I don't need to make up nothing. And that is the reason why I am telling these stories. That's the reason why I'm telling them. Because my children and children who one day might come on this internet and listen can hear it from my mouth to show how people really is. They went to the school and pick up their children, leave my children. Mind you, I used to pick up their children every day for years. Listen to that. I repeat, for years, every day for years. They borrow a new car, I guess, get. Say they're going to pick up the children. Okay? This ain't a woman, this a man. Went to the school, pick up only their children. Dropped their children off. Came back to the workplace with my car. So I assume when they give me the key that my children must see was outside in the car, because once it is safe for them to be in the car, because we're talking about in Bank Lane. Police will be right there all the time in Bank Lane. And everybody knew my children, because everywhere I go, I tote my children. When I don't tote my children, because where I go in, they really, really, really cannot go. Okay? And that's very few and far. So I went outside with the car keys to see if my children there. No children. So I come back inside because I assume. They say they ain't got to assume. You know what they say when you assume. So I came back inside and I said, "Excuse me, sir. Um, did you drop my children off home?" "Oh no, I didn't get your children." Casually, as if it's nothing. "You take my car with my gas to go pick up the children when I always pick up your children in a government vehicle, which you don't pay gas or nothing for. And you ain't even pick up my children. You going to the exact same school. Listen to this. The same school. And pick up your children and left my children with my car. Y'all ain't hearing me, eh? You know how serious that is? I is a person who believe in peace. I every day of my life I try to avoid conflict unless somebody bold enough to really come in my face. Then it's hard to really let people disrespect you to that level so you can get it back. I can't, it isn't that you're trying to be disgusting, but at some point you can't not be the coward of the county. Okay? So I say, do not say anything, Mazel. Just take your keys, take your bag. I say, that is after 4 o'clock. This is after 4 o'clock. Okay? So I take my key in my bag. I say, by the time I go pick up my children, it'll be about 5. Because going up on the Eastern Road around certain time of the day, remember now, once you have the shift change over Price Island, which is 3 something, most of them coming off that bridge, is traffic jam straight around. So you going actually one way, or even if you go the back route to by Parkgate Road to go to QC, it's still traffic jam. Don't care how you try to. So it don't even make no sense going the back route, wasting time when you could go the front route, which is more quicker still and easier, and you still meet the traffic. You gotta be in that traffic. So when I reach and pick up my children, I said, I made an apology. I always apologize to my children, which in my lifetime, I only had to apologize, but maybe but twice to my children. And each time was because somebody else was involved in the pickup of my children. Otherwise, I had an alarm on my cell phone that used to ring at 2 o'clock. And don't matter what I doing, I quit what I doing because I had to do that when you work in the legal field, or you will never do anything for yourself. Anyone who know that when you're in the legal field, you never do anything for yourself. So you need some timer to let you know it's time to leave and to get up and go get your children, or go get up and go do what you need to do, because with work, the legal work never stop, and you will get caught up always busy, and you wouldn't even time will pass you. So you had to have something to let you know it's time to go. And I had an alarm that used to ring on target, and I used to jump up and go no matter what I doing, because that is a priority. That's a priority. Well, when I pick up my children, finally reach for them, they say, Mommy, we see you. I say, see me? Say, yeah, we thought you was coming right back. Because sometime when I come in the schoolyard, I will um remember, like, I have no snacks or stuff in the car, and I'll go up to the little tuck shop on Village Road. It's a little tuck shop on the Village Road. I think the young lady dead now. Um, I used to go to her and get some little snacks, little biscuits, little chips if I didn't bring none from home in the car, and I would drinks. Because children, that's what children are. They like a little something every time you know and you shouldn't suffer little children if you can afford it, you know. And that's what I used to do with my kids. Anytime I come for them, I had something in the car for them, some fruits, some to give them, you know, until we reach home. But my car used to be clean because my children, they were clean children. And listen here, I tell them, they say they thought I go on by the tuck shop, and they knew if mommy go by the tuck shop, she'll be back about less than what 10 minutes, because it's right there, swing, 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 you know, and they said, but they we ain't see you come back. That means they waiting and waiting and waiting. So that was a lesson to show me you could do all you could for black people, a lot of us. We have this nasty ways about us. And it ain't because of what position you hold, because the people in the high position, I found out a lot of them have the worst ways and they pretend well. A lot of them. Okay? And you can call yourself a man. Someone always pick up your children. You borrow their car to go pick up the children from the same place and you leave the person children? What kind of man do that? What kind of real man does that? One police who was observing everything, he came to me, he said, Miss Knowles, if you let that person in your car again, I'll slap you myself. Because they knew that it was so unfounded for someone to be so nasty. You know what I'm saying? So nasty and nonchalant. Don't give a crap. Don't care. And so, when it like that, it's time to put on the brakes. Yeah, I still pick up the children a couple more times, but I wasn't for that no more. You know what I'm saying? And that's what would stop it because it isn't gonna work, baby. It's not gonna work. Okay? But that goes to show you you could do all kind of things for people, and at the end of the day, they still will be so nasty, so disrespectful too, because I had to put a lot of disrespect from the person afterwards. So this conniving, deceitful, and disgusting because you know they had higher position than me. So they used their position to keep their foot on me on top of that because they couldn't use me no more, you see? And that's what I talk about, you know? And that was the first one of my nasty people I worked with, you know? And that's why I try to keep always but I always try to keep people of my life, personal life. You don't come around my house. I don't bring you, drag you from around the work to around my house. Stay from around me. I don't give a heck how lonely you is. I ain't lonely. I got plenty of things to do. Hey, you stay in your house. Don't come around me. If I didn't invite you, don't come look for me. And I always tell my children, don't even answer the house door. Okay? Don't even answer it. All right? I don't stutter. And that's my way of letting you know, don't matter what you do. For some people, they'll make believe you never did nothing for them. But you know, you have people observing. Well, see, thank God I was married to a good man who was not like, you know, some men some woman could never let no one drive their car. Their husband will want to kill them physically. They'll want to physically beat the pulp out of them. But thank God I married to an understanding, sensible man. That's the difference. Who understand that in life, you know, sometimes you got to even go to the extreme to help others, even when they're kicking you down, okay? But when you see them kicking you down, you know when to pull the plug. Hello? There's ain't for that. But being a man's supposed to be a protector. A protector. Do you understand what protector means? You're going to pick up children. A person who pick up yours. You're going to pick up children and you leave the person children with the person own car, the person own gas. Come on. They're the kind of things I had dealt with. And that's why I say stay your tail from around me. You have plenty of people trying to push themselves into your life. You push back. Because they ain't right. Most of them 9.9. You hear the figure I'm calling? 9.9. It's only that 0.1% you might find genuine and nice. But 9.9, never nice. Heart full of hate. heart full of hate because they hate to see you have something or get something. A stranger who observe and notice what always going on say, you should never do nothing for them. They raised like dog. And everybody always used to say, how you was making working with that person? Plenty days I was insulted, disrespected. But because you need a job, yeah, I had to keep your mouth closed and move on. And oh, they pretend well. When you see them up with other, I say, child, I'm so glad to be far from them. When I finally get up from underneath them, you think uh, a prisoner when they get free, when they see that blue sky and they get free, and they so happy to be free. It's more than that. It's like being a slave for years and you get from around them people and you wait for Bahamas government. You don't even wait for these people. But these people, that's why when people ask for a transfer, they need to begin these people a transfer and stop holding these people in these offices.